Okay, welcome back everyone. Um, so our innovation strategy, okay, it can happen over time. We can always change our innovation strategies because the industry is evolving. Okay, environmental business environment is also changing. So competitive conditions change and co-evolve with any specific industry life cycle. Okay, rate of innovation diffusion and innovation adoption. Okay, um, will actually um, be one of our steps. Okay, in innovating uh, our products or services. So if we see this bell graph, okay, this is the alignment of strategic types to life cycles. Okay, let us look at this graph as one cycle of a product. Okay, let's say this is a handphone, a mobile phone. Okay, so if you see this bell graph, okay, um, the middle part here, okay, are actually the mainstreamers. Okay, they are the majority, whether they are early majority or late majority. Okay, the left side are the special ones. Okay, so they are the early adopters. Okay, and this one is the late adopters. Even in early adopters, the very few 2.5% are people whom we call innovators. Okay, so if we put it in terms of, we can also put it in terms of users. Okay, we have users who are innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and also laggards. So, for example, if iPhone, um, Apple pronounce Apple announced, sorry, not pronounced, Apple announced that they will be launching a new model. So those people who um, go lining up in front of the Apple Store, okay, very very early in the morning. In some places, since the day before or 2 days before, just to make sure that they can buy the newly launched product, okay, the newly launched iPhones. So they are the innovators. Well, in the past, the person who wants to buy, they line up themselves, but now there are already services on personal shoppers who will line up for you, okay, and will buy things for you. So that is also one kind of business innovation as well. But these people who always want to be the first to buy a new launch product or the newly high tech product, they are what we call as the innovators. Okay, and after them, okay, after these innovators, okay, they are early adopters, the people who will first observe, okay, the innovators, okay, when they buy the new launch product, they will wait for their feedbacks, the feedbacks of the innovators, and they will see, and then they will consider whether they want to buy or not. But usually they are also not that late. They're like maybe a week after or a month after or a few months after. So well, depending on the life cycle of this product as well. So if it's like a very short life cycle product, then it will be quicker, they will buy quicker. Okay, that will count around 13.5%. Okay, and then after that, when maybe after half a year, or well, depending on the product itself also, the early majority will come in. More and more people will buy, and as of the early majority, they are still early. Okay, they are still buying the new launch product, but not the newest, but the end of the new time frame of buying that newly launched product. And then there are the late majority, okay, who will buy later, and there are the laggards. Okay, the laggards usually they buy like they what they aim is for the cheaper price of that product. So after quite some time, when maybe the mobile phone company wants to launch another new product, so the product before, the price will go down, okay, and at that time the laggards will come in and buy. Okay, and if we put ourselves as organization or as companies uh, to discuss this bell graph, okay, the innovators will be the organizations or companies who are the first in. Okay, they want to adopt the new technology in their their company, okay, and produce the latest technology. It doesn't mean that the innovators are the ones who produce the technology. Maybe they buy the technology from somewhere else and then they expand the technology in their company. Okay, and then there are the early adopters. Okay, when the early adopters look or observe that the products or technology produced by the innovators are well accepted by the market, then they will go in. And then if it's highly accepted, then others will follow in. Okay, will jump into the bandwagon and so forth. Okay, the late majority and also the laggards. So as we go from here to here, okay, or from here to here, okay, cost competition will be higher and higher. Okay, here not much because it's still new. Okay, the innovators can always produce the product at higher price, at more premium price, because it is new to the market. But as others imitate or use the same technology, then it becomes cheaper and cheaper for the consumer. And also because when more people or more companies are adopting the same technology, there will be there will be more suppliers who are able to give them what they need for their production. Market will be bigger and supplier will also be more abundant, so it will be easier for them to pick and choose their suppliers as well. So the competition will be higher actually, but in terms of cost competitiveness. Okay, now, so the economic return. Okay, so um, as we go along, introduction. Okay, here why is it low? Because it has to counter with the investment that they have done. Okay, and as it goes along, okay, when it comes to maturity, then the economic return will be higher, okay, because the market is bigger, and by that time they have already perhaps they have already settled the investment, or maybe half or part of the investment already. But here, when the model or the product is not viable in the market anymore, or the organization is already planning for a new model, then usually the market will decline here. One reason is because the number of uh, products being produced, okay, the number of production will go lower and lower before they prepare to launch a new one. It's either they want to use the same production line, or they just want to kill the product and have a new product. So that will depend on the internal strategy of the company as well. So, okay, if we look at innovation strategies over time from the point of view in the phases of development, okay, first, there will usually be the product innovation. Okay, it goes the same, like if you let's say you bake a cake, okay, and you bake a cake using a traditional recipe. Okay, maybe a recipe from your mother or from your grandmother, and then you bring your product, your cake, to your friends and you distribute to them. Okay, uh, just for fun. And then your friend said, oh, the cake is very good, it's very delicious, can you make for us? I mean, they want to buy from you. Okay, so and then you get 10 orders, for example. So then you will have to start thinking, are your facilities enough to bake the 10 cakes? Do you have sufficient materials or sufficient ingredients to make your cake, the 10 cakes? Okay, and how about the process of making the cake? Okay, you will have also have to think about it. So you will have to come up with a um, product or cakes, still handmade. Okay, because it's only 10, you still can make 10 cakes. Okay, but then as the orders grow, becomes higher and higher. Today you receive 10, maybe 3 days later you get 100 orders, 150 orders, 200 orders. So how are you going to uh, look into your process of making 100 cakes? Okay, it should be different making 100 cakes compared to 10 cakes. Okay, so you have to look into your process. So you have to be innovative on your process. Should you use one oven or should you have a bigger oven? Should you buy another, maybe two, you have another oven, you have two ovens or one big ovens? So and do you make the batter one time, all for 100? Are you going to make the batter on your own or are you going to use a machine to do it? So all those kinds of things, okay, will be included in the process innovation. You will start thinking about the process innovation. Okay, and then as the time goes, then you will have to think about your strategic innovation. How? If you still remember, we mentioned yesterday about customization. For example, distribution customization. Okay, so the product may be the same, but you can special make for your extreme users, so called. Okay, for example, one of your friends asking you to say that she wants to buy you cake because she wants to um, give it as a present for his mom, his mom's birthday, for example. So you will do something, you will have to write, happy birthday mom, on the cake, okay, as requested by your friend. So that is distribution customization. Or you put candles, or you put some special ornaments or special accessories on the cakes. So that can be distribution customization, that can be design customization as well. Okay, for the extreme users that you have. Okay, so how are you, and then after this you have to think, how can you be productive in producing cakes, the special cakes and also the general cakes? So, and what kind of market are you looking at? Are you looking at the people, the normal people, or are you looking at the celebrities, for example? Because cakes for celebrities you can sell for thousands of ringgit. So those kind of strategic plans that you need to have, you need to be innovative about, um, will come later after you have experienced the product innovation and also the process innovation. Okay, so what are the types of innovation? There are product innovation and process innovation. We have learned the typology, right? Product innovation, process innovation, um, position innovation, and also paradigm innovation. So you can use that when you are discussing or thinking about how having different kinds of the addressing different typologies of innovation can also lead to different strategy of innovation. So, for example, product innovations are embodied in the outputs of an organization, uh, whether it's in its goods or in its services. For example, Ericsson's development of 3G wireless network and network services. Okay, so process innovations are innovations in the way an organization conducts its business, such as in techniques of producing or marketing goods or services. Okay, so um, those those things that will come in after developing a product, that is the product innovation. And then when you want to make it more productive, okay, you want to increase your productivity, or you want to increase your market visibility, that will be included in innovation, process innovation. Okay, so improving the effectiveness or efficiency of production, that is process innovation. For example, by reducing defect rates, increasing quantity produced in a given time. Product innovations can enable process innovations and vice versa. Okay, so but usually my experience as a design engineer, usually product innovations come first, and usually you will start with doing things handmade, because you want to first see the specification that your product can fulfill. So you will do it handmade first. um, you cannot suddenly make 100 or 1000 out of it, because you don't know whether your product can meet the specification that has been outlined, meet the needs that your customer wants. Okay, so like baking cakes, you first bake one. If you have never baked anything before, or you have never tried that recipe, first you have to bake one, and you must ask other people to taste it, whether it is delicious or not. Then only you can produce more. Okay, so that's the analogy. uh, there are also, within that typology of innovation, there's also two kinds of innovation, which is the radical type innovation and also the incremental type innovation. The radicalness of innovation is the degree to which is new and different from previously existing products and services, processes. So radicalness is also defined in the terms of risk. Okay, usually radical innovation is very risky because it's new. So there is always an uncertainty whether the market can accept it or not. Okay, whether it is can be um, successful or not. So radicalness is also defined in terms of risk. 3G wireless technology required investment in new networking equipment and infrastructure. Okay, it also require development of new phones, greater display and memory capabilities, as well as a stronger battery and or better power utilization, and also the degree of user acceptance of the technology, uh, because it's still unknown, it's still new. Okay, so the risk is from the amount of your investment, okay, to the development of the product, to the acceptance of the market. Okay, it can come from any of those and all of those. Okay, if you are producing radical innovation. But incremental innovation may involve only a minor change or an adjustment from the existing practices. The radicalness of an innovation is relative. It may change over time or with respect to different observers. For example, digital photography, a more radical innovation for Kodak, okay, than Sony. Okay, so uh, because Kodak, they are chemical photography experts. They use films. But Sony, they already have the technology, electronics, scanning, what else? Light technology and all those. Okay, so the technology is more radical to innovation for more radical for Kodak rather than for Sony, because Sony has already the base of the technology, the foundation. Okay, so that also reminds me of the early years after I graduated from my engineering degree. I came back to Malaysia, and before coming back to Malaysia, I bought a Sony Vaio laptop. At that time it was newly launched, so I was like, oh, this is great, having a new launched made in Japan product, made in Japan laptop. So I bought it, I brought it back, and I use it for work. I only used it for like 1 month or so. The laptop has already causing some problems. Okay, so and the bigger problem is that I cannot repair the laptop here in Malaysia. Okay, I cannot even make somebody check for the laptop here in Malaysia. Okay, because it's still under warranty, I have to send the laptop to Japan for checks, and if there's any problem that needs changing of parts or whatsoever, they will do the repair, but I will have to pay for the parts, okay, that they change. So it was like quite a headache for me, because sending back to Japan will cost me one thing, and having it repaired is another thing. So uh, I had it done one time. It happened that one capacitor was burned, so they have to change the capacitor, but I still have to pay some. And then I got it back, and then after using it for 3 months, uh, it went broken again. So after that, I didn't want to repair, because it was like a hassle to bring it back to Japan and do all those things. So for a company that has already have that technology of doing making laptop, for them producing another laptop will not be a big difference. But for a company like Sony that do not have the specialty in making laptops, okay, um, they have never experienced doing it, although they do produce many home appliances like TV, videos and all that, but laptop is different. Okay, and also you have to have a good network in your supplies to and also very good logistics and customer service for laptops, okay, or for computers. So it would be more radical for Sony rather than for other companies that have already have the expertise in producing laptop. Okay, if we are talking about this kind of how the radicalness of innovation can be different from the perspective of different companies or organization. Okay, so there are also types of innovation where competence enhancing innovation and competence destroying innovation. Okay, competence enhancing innovations built on the firm's existing knowledge base. So this is something like incremental innovation. For example, Intel's Pentium 4 built on the technology for Pentium 3. Okay, so it is an incremental from Pentium 3 to Pentium 4 improvement. Okay, competence destroying innovation renders a firm's existing competencies obsolete. Okay, for example, electronic calculators rendered Kufel and Ezer's slide rule expertise obsolete. HP and TI, Texas Instrument, thrived as they had existing competencies in the electronic components needed in electronic calculators. We can also say um, iPod, okay, versus CD. Okay, uh, you in the past, when you want to listen to the music, you need to buy CDs, and you cannot choose what music you want to put in one CD. Um, earlier on. Okay, later you will have CDRW, then only you can you can choose what you want, but that is still very difficult because uh, you have to really plan on what you want to put in one CD. But if you have an iPod, or if you have, like now you have Spotify, you can just stream, or you have YouTube, you can enjoy your music, any music that you want. And even they can suggest good music that, like for example, today you want to listen to music that's relaxing, so they can suggest you music that is relaxing. Okay, so those kind, the technology that we have now, the streaming technology for example, is killing the CD technology. Okay, so that is competence destroying innovation. Same also as digital photography. Okay, when digital photography technology uh, was launched in the market, it has made one of the biggest company in the world, Kodak, to go bankrupt because people don't use films anymore, except for those, like, um, very classic, those who have classic cameras, those kind of photographers. Okay, competence destroying innovation can happen between different companies, which mean company A come up with new technology and kill company B's technology. But it can also happen in one company, in the same company. Okay, like company A, they used to have technology one, okay, and then now they want to launch technology two. So when market starts to accept technology two, technology one will become obsolete. Okay, so it can happen in one company, or in many companies, also in one company. So this is the old calculator. I don't know how it works, okay, but the calculator that we have now is very simple and easy to use. I mean, we don't even need this calculator right now. We can use our handphone to calculate things. We can use our laptop to calculate things as well. Okay, now let's go to technology S curve. So both the rate of technology's improvement and its rate of diffusion to the market typically follow an S-shaped curve like this. Okay, this shape. So this S-shaped curve plot technology's performance, okay, against the amount of effort and money invested in that technology. So So if you put more effort and more money into that technology, that new technology, your performance will be substantially increased. Okay. So S curve in technology performance and market diffusions are related. Okay. So better performance equals to faster adoption. Greater adoption means further investment in improvements. Okay, so uh, basically it will rely on the market also. Okay, uh, okay, but they are fundamentally different processes if the effort invested is not constant over time. The resulting S curve can obscure the true relationship. So the effort, the investment that you give to the technology that you want to adopt must be constant. You must put constant effort into it. Otherwise, it will not become uh, the S curve that you want. Okay, and it will not um, give you the performance that you want in the end. Okay. Now, let's look at the pioneering of first mover strategy. We have discussed about the those who the first in, okay, the first in people. Um, they always want to be the first in introducing or adopting a technology. But pioneering strategy uh, also means that a pioneer is not necessarily the inventor of the technology or product innovation. Okay, they can be a pioneer, can be some the company who gathers the technology that are available in the market. Okay, we have patents, so they can look at different patents and gather it and make it into by use those technology and implement it into one new product, for example. Okay, so it is the firm that first introduces or commercialize the innovation to the market is what we call as the pioneer. So if you look at smartphones, for example, smartphones consist of so many kinds of technology. Okay, you scroll up, you scroll down is one technology. Okay, the app, the application is another technology. Okay, your alarm is one technology, calculator is one technology, the screen, whether you have a flip screen or one big screen, or the now they are having um, the screen that is flexible. Okay, those are also another technology. So innovators are actually not the pioneers are not only the innovators, they can be the innovator as well, but they can also be the organization that collects all the technology that fits to the concept of their product. Okay, and commercialize it to the market. Expensive and risky business. It's expensive, yes. Pioneering to be a pioneer is very expensive and it's very risky, but it has first mover advantage. Okay, because they are the first one who introduced to the market. They have a larger market share and profit because they don't have competitors as yet. Okay, their cost of production, cost of advertising, well, to me cost of production can be higher because they are new, but they have the grip of the technology or the expertise of doing it, so they can slash the cost very quickly. They have the cost of advertising, brand loyalty, and also quality. So these are the cost of production is high, the cost of advertising is high, the brand loyalty, they can get the brand loyalty, okay, because they are the first ones, and also the quality. But I think I've also have mentioned in the class that as my experience, being a design engineer, quality of first newly launched product, you cannot rely too much on it, okay, because it can be something that is made out of a hurry. Okay, it also means because they have the launch date that they must meet. So it can be something that is not of a decent quality. So that's why my personality is I like to observe first and look what's happening. If I think it's viable, if I think it is as a user, I can use it for a long time, then and also offer a good price, then only I will buy it. Okay, um, so that's the first mover advantage and also disadvantage actually. um, the first mover, okay, the pioneer can lower unit cost and greater market control than later entrants. Yes, because they have that knowledge. Okay, they have that capability of doing it first, so they have more experience. So they can innovate their process quickly compared to the late entrants. So they can offer lower unit cost. They can set product standards and greater opportunity to differentiate. Yes, those who come in first, they have the, not to say authority, but they have the opportunity to set the product standards first because they are the first in the market, and they have better opportunity to differentiate from others because they are the first one, so other people cannot do exactly the same thing as they have done. Okay, they can imitate, but they need to find something, they have to work hard to make something that is not exactly 100% copy, but if you are in first, then you have your own standard and you can differentiate quickly also. um, the first mover can dominate the market even after entry of competitors because you are the first one. But you need to have a good strategy as well, so that you're the second the second mover and also other competitors don't kill your business. So this is the chart for the pioneering first mover strategy. uh, This is a graph, unit cost and price versus the entering of the market. Okay, the timing of entering the market. So the pioneer enters first. Okay, so you can set your no, it's not. You either can set your unit price high, but at the same time maybe also because your unit cost is high as well. Okay, because first time, and maybe you will have little suppliers to help you, but then uh, after some time, when the market starts to accept your product, okay, you can lower the unit cost and price by having more suppliers, so you have more uh, purchasing power. Okay, you can select which supplier that can offer you better price. Okay, um, but okay, as time goes, the follower enters the market, so there will be the they will start with a certain cost and also a certain price, but pioneers cost advantage over late entrant is this much. Okay, but to keep in the market, to keep yourself in the market, you cannot maintain your price like this actually. Okay, you must be competitive in terms of cost as well, because in the business world right now, users or consumers are always looking for their ideal product is the product that is of high quality but cheap price. So that's always what they want. So for that ideal, if your competitor can offer a decent product with a lower price, you might get caught in the competition with your competitor. Okay, so but if you can maintain your specialization in your area, then you can maintain your price. Okay, let's look at smartphones. So we have iPhone and we have Xiaomi, for example. Xiaomi is an Android version to me that tries, not tries very hard, but even the design is like iPhone. Okay, the design, iPhone has I what is that? When you can share files with fellow iPhone users. What do you call that? Uh, but for Xiaomi, Xiaomi has Mi Share or something like that. So between Xiaomi users, you can freely share your files or your photos. Okay, so the function is about the same. Okay, but Apple still can maintain their price in the market, very expensive price, and people still go for iPhones because of their other special characteristics that Android phones don't have. Okay, so usually people who are innovators or early adopters, they are have this inclination of using iPhones, but people like majority, early majority, and also the late majority and laggards, they might want to have Xiaomi, for example, as their option, because Xiaomi offer a decent performance, but at a very cheap price. Okay, so this is you can read further. Okay, so as time goes by, the pioneer cost will go down as well. That also includes the follower enters the market. So here we will have to see what the reaction of the market towards the two different products. Okay, and the strategy can can change or can stay at that point. So there are three sources of market advantage: one, relative consumer advantage; two, relative marketing mix advantage; and three, relative direct cost advantage. Okay, so for relative consumer advantage, uh, because they are in first, so the product and brand familiarity is uh, better. Okay, so they can have higher market share. uh, and for the first movers, they are familiar with the marketing mix. Okay, okay, and for relative direct cost advantage, uh, they can have cost savings through purchasing, manufacturing, and distribution. And these are the three primary sources that can affect the strategy of a first mover. Okay, technological leadership or learning and experience curve, preemptive acquisition of scarce resources, which is the most attractive niche, and buyer switching costs. Okay, so the knowledge, the resources, and also the market. So three primary resources that can relate to the direct cost advantage for first movers. Okay, so I think I will explain until here. Okay, you can continue reading the disadvantage of first mover, second mover, and so forth. Okay, so this is our last class. Um, Today I will send you the questions for quiz 3 so that you can finish by Sunday, and by Wednesday you will have to do your final exam. Okay, so thank you very much for joining the class. Um,
Hello, Puan.
yes.
Thank you.
Could you send again the attendance link?
Attendance link. Okay.
Thank you, Puan.
Okay. First, I will stop the recording.